So despite the crypto crash, Solana community has definitely been rising in sentiment in a positive way. And if you're on Twitter, you probably heard a lot of hashtag Solana Summer. Well, what is Solana Summer? Well, Solana Summer is kind of one of those times in history in the Solana ecosystem and community where there's a lot of hype, there's a lot of excitement, and things are really starting to rev up. And according to what a lot of people have been saying in the Solana community, they are calling for a Solana NFT bull run. Now, will that happen? I'm not 100% sure, but only time will tell. And so I want to share with you a few recent things that is definitely positive for Solana despite what is happening here in the market, but I also want to share with you something to be mindful of as well. Now, before we jump into it, I want to take a brief second to talk to you about one of the partners on the channel, which is Crypto.com, and you can also buy and sell and also transfer Solana off of Crypto.com as well. Now, Crypto.com is one of the largest exchanges in the space today that allows us to buy and sell over 250 plus cryptocurrencies. You can also earn passive income on crypto as well as your stable coins. They also have their own Metal Visa debit card where you can earn Crow back on your purchases. Now, if you're into more than Solana NFTs, Crypto.com has their own personal marketplace where you can buy and sell and showcase your NFTs. They also have some pretty cool collections, and here are some of the top brands: Philadelphia 76ers, Aston Martin, UFC, which are all top global brands. And here are some of the top creators as well. Snoop Dogg, you have Aston Martin. And so you can definitely check this out for yourself if you're one of those people that are definitely into NFTs. So if you'd like to check out Crypto.com, there will be a link in the description below, and the promo code is Mike. But now let's dive into some of the Solana news in today's video, and I'm also going to show you one of the Solana NFTs that I recently just purchased as well right after this. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Mike the Investor, and as we briefly just look at the Solana price chart, we can see Solana is around $51.54. If we look on the 7-day, we can see Solana is up well over 16% despite what's been happening in the market. Now, of course, if you look at that 30-day and 40-day, things don't look too good. But real quick, if I go over to my Twitter page, you can see May 18th, I grabbed my second 𝗬𝗥𝗬𝗣𝗧𝗢 NFT, and this one was a farmer, and I grabbed my first one, which was an artist, back April 11th, which was a little bit over a month ago. Now, if you briefly just look at the entire Solana NFT marketplace, you can see it's right under 1.4 billion. And if you briefly move down, you can see 𝗬𝗥𝗬𝗣𝗧𝗢 is the 12th largest project with a current floor price of 73.9 SOL. Now, if you look over here on CoinDesk, you can see Magic Eden tops OpenSea in daily trading volume as Solana NFTs heat up. This came out May 19th. Now, if you look here, this is OpenSea, and I'm gonna hit the refresh up here for us. You can see 𝗤𝗚𝗏𝗏𝗏s is the third largest project far as volume, and this is a Solana NFT project. And if we just scroll down to find the next one here, you can see Cardboard Citizens at 15. You got Moon Bears at 17, Sets on Crack at number 21. So you could just see that the Solana NFT marketplace is definitely making strides. So just pay attention to that. And if you look here on 𝗬𝗥𝗬𝗏𝗏, I'm gonna hit the refresh as well so we can make sure everything is up to date, at least at the time of this video. You can see right now, Magic Eden is the #1 NFT marketplace when it comes to the balance and when it comes to the amount of users. Now, of course, OpenSea still has more volume because the average sale is more on OpenSea because the NFTs are more expensive. And also they have more blue chip NFTs as well compared to Solana right now. And so you still have a nice time to get into Solana NFTs. And if you briefly just look here, I just want to pay attention to something. This is something that we do want to keep in mind. Regardless of all of the positive sentiment, because I do think a lot of it as well is kind of depend on what is going on with the condition of the overall market, just like we saw Terra Luna, help take down the market as well. So listen to this. The Solana NFT market seemed to be cruising as it entered May with a very productive April. And so the NFT markets were also expected to boom through the mid-season. In fact, the NFT volume on Solana reached its all-time high, which was 466 million. Now, the high lofty expectations were brought down with the Terra crash, and consequently, the Solana has not been able to maintain the high NFT sales with the volume drying down after the Terra debacle. Now, one other thing to keep in mind is the total value locked has dropped tremendously on the Solana blockchain, which will also result in the price. And so I think there's a lot of sentiment in the positive way when it comes to the Solana ecosystem. However, is all of this going to result in price? That I'm not 100% sure on, and that we just kind of have to wait and see what happens. Now, if you can look here briefly, the Solana total value in DeFi has also decreased gradually with increasing aversion towards risk asset in the market. At press time, the total value on Solana stood at 4.22 billion, which was the lowest since September 2021. Now listen to this. Interestingly, the Solana total value lock stood at 11.22 billion at the start of this year. This means a massive loss of more than 60% has taken place, indicating the worrisome state of the market. Now, I do think a lot of this is due to just, people selling off. We've been in a downturn since November of last year. And if you just look at all of that happening, and then also the network outages and the network issues that Solana has been having as well, definitely isn't a positive to developers. And so sometimes developers are going to look for other blockchains because they get tired of that happening. And Solana has had a lot. And so that I do understand, but I do think a lot of it is just due to us going into, this bear market time. And so that is something just to be mindful of as you look at this whole Solana summer, as the hype continues to increase, as the sentiment continues to rise, as the excitement continues to rise as well. Remember, a lot of these Solana NFTs aren't just going to be pumping because of the actual fundamentals or the utility. It's going to be pumping because of the excitement and the hype that is going on in the community. So I want you guys to be careful if you're looking at, minting NFTs, because Solana is also known for getting you rugged, because the cost for projects to start is pretty much nothing. The transaction fees are pretty much nothing. And so it's a lot easier for projects and investors to move around in the Solana NFT ecosystem. And so because of that, there's a lot of scams, there's a lot of rug pulls. So I want you to be careful if you're minting, if you're buying on a secondary market. Just make sure this is a project that either you have a strategy for to flip it, or make sure this is a project that you're looking to hold long term. Now, before we get out of here, I'm going to briefly share with you what I'm going to do. Now, if I have any projects that I'm holding that I was just kind of holding and it wasn't really a complete long-term play, if it jumps up anywhere, I'm going to go ahead and take profits, and then I'm going to probably redistribute that into my main Solana NFTs. And so that's something I'm doing. And then also with the prices being low, because of the price of Solana, if I can find another deal, on some of the OG projects, which is more so of my focus right now, I'm looking to grab a 𝗘𝗥𝗚. I don't own one of those yet. I do own 2 Stone Apes. I own 4 Nuked Apes. I own some Best Buds. I own some Bulldog Billionaires. I own some Mary Janes. I own quite a few other NFTs as well. However, I own a Generous Robot, Space Robot. So I own quite a few passive income Solana NFTs. However, I am looking to get some more OG projects as well if I can find a deal through all of this hype. And so that's kind of what I'm doing, looking for more so projects that I believe is going to be here after the smoke clears. Because one thing you want to keep in mind, if we do see an NFT, Solana bull run, trust and believe it is only temporary. Prices will settle, and you don't want to be left holding the bag. So if you gain some value from all of this, smash the like button, comment, subscribe, and I will see you on the next one.